Sagittarius, this is a reading for you for the new moon in Cancer, Sagittarius. At this time, okay, so keep in mind, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, right? Cancer and Sagittarius, they go hand in hand, right? So I feel like at this time, you're having a lot of good luck here, right? Like you could be moving into a new home. I feel like you're having a lot of familial luck, anything within your home here, right? Like anything within your career. Check where you have Sagittarius and Cancer here as well, right? Yeah, at this time, first out, we have forgiveness. We have forgiveness. Leo was going through forgiveness, right? I just did Leo's video. Cancer, at this time, I feel like Cancer, this is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, at this time, I feel like you could be going through a lot of things here that you're truly having to forgive other people, yourself here for as well. I feel like you could have felt trapped here, right? And I feel like once again, freedom's been coming up a lot lately. I feel like where you could have felt like very caged in, very controlled here, right? Like you're being set free, right? Like whatever resentments that you have for other people here as well, forgive them so you can heal yourself, right? Like hating somebody, having unforgiveness in your heart, like that's like drinking your own poison here as well, right? Don't, like, if you've been feeling trapped, if you've been feeling caged in, and I feel like this is almost like you're feeling caged in by hate, resentment, like regret, like frustrations here as well, right? I feel like that's almost been a prison cell for you. Like it's time to let these things go. It's time to be happy here, right? I feel like there's just been a lot of things you've been holding on to, and it's time to release them here, right? Like these things are no longer for you to have to deal with, right? And Sagittarius, I feel like that's almost what you've been going through in like home situations, work situations here. It's almost like you're there, you can come and go as you please, right? But it's not bringing you happiness. It's not bringing you joy here, right? And I feel like you're having some realizations about that. I feel like you've almost been staying in these places and situations out of obligation here, right? Now's not the time, right? We have Two of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, right? At this time, you could be dealing with a third party here. You could be dealing with whatever it is. I feel like you could have a lot of people around you at this time. I feel like you're cutting them off. You're not really paying attention to them here, right? Like you could have gotten in a disagreement here with a group of people, about a group of people, anything like that here, right? About love. Yeah, I feel like you could be in a third party, Sagittarius. I feel like this is a situation that you're not really wanting to look at. Like I feel like this is something that you're really having to forgive another person for here, right? Yeah, we have Ace of Cups and the Lovers. If you could have found out about something, I feel like you're really withholding your energy. You're really withholding yourself from joining in any participation with these people, with these places, with these things. They're no longer for you here, right? You know that it's an illusion. You know that these things aren't real. Like whatever's for you will be for you. You don't have to beg anybody to stay, especially if they're putting you in a third party here, right? Yeah. I feel like you're realizing that there could have been a situation here. It could be a Gemini. It doesn't have to be. I feel like you could have realized that a situation here, that whatever you've been dealing with, right, it's almost been an illusion. I feel like they could have been selling you dreams here as well. Yeah, they could have been trying to like trick you, schmooze you here with money. And I feel like they could have been wrapping you up, getting you confused here in this situation, right? And then we have Temperance with the Three of Cups. Yeah. Sagittarius, you are definitely in a third party. You're definitely in a third party. Yeah, I feel like this is something that you've almost stayed tied to because of the money, right? I feel like there's been a lot of confusing things, a lot of frustrating things, and I feel like you've really just been holding yourself back, not wanting to deal with it, right? But I feel like I'm seeing this almost like a volcano here, right? Like I feel like you've been withholding your energy, you've been holding yourself back here, right? And I feel like with all this frustrating, confusing energy here, right, I feel like you're almost volcanoing. I feel like you're not happy, you're not content with whatever the situation is here, right? And I feel like you're really wanting to escape this. Once you have some realizations, once the truth has really been set free here, right, you're going into a new direction, right? Yeah. Out of nowhere here, right? And I feel like this is something that you're being intuitively pulled to do. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. We have the Eight of Wands with the Six of Wands here, right? With this Queen of Cups, yeah. I feel like you're wanting to go into a place here where you're being loved and supported and cared for, right? Where people actually lift you up, you know, where people look at you like, you know what it is you're doing here, right? And I feel like you've been put in situations here where it's almost like people look at you like you're dumb, like you really don't understand or know what it is you're doing here, right? And that's not really fair for yourself here as well, right? And it's time for you really to transform this situation. You could be working with a Scorpio woman here as well. If not, yeah, I feel like once you find out your truth, once you find out the truth, it's happening out of nowhere. It's pushing you more into a space here where you're focusing on your successes, your wins. It's almost like these things had to happen in order for you to transform this situation, in order for you to get the things here that you're really wanting. And I feel like you're having a perspective shift involving this. Oh, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Yes. Yeah, you're gonna have some realizations about why these things had to end, why these things were really hurting your feelings here as well. This was not a situation that was gonna be forever. This was not a situation that you could really continue growing in here as well, right? Yeah, I feel like there was the foundation had been already been cracking, right? Like this was not set properly here as well. And I feel like you guys got so tired, you weren't even continuing to build on this building here, right? Like you guys gave up. And so it's time for you really to start seeing these things a little bit differently here for yourself. And I feel like instead of like holding on to like the reasons why, like, oh, these things ended because this person was so terrible, these things, no. It's time for you really to start taking ownership, accountability for yourself. Why it is, like, what parts did you play? What, you know, how did you cause an effect here, right? And yeah, I feel like that's really going to help. Yeah, you're focusing your energy into your work at this time. Like if you can't focus in on yourself, on something that can bring in money here, something that is going to be worthwhile, something that you can have results in and it be positive here, right? And nobody can take that from you, right? You're not dealing with it. Like that's what's getting you through the situation at this time, right? Yeah. It's almost like the more you're able to like focus on like something physical here, it's almost like the better it's going to be for you, right? Yeah. And then the sun's going to come out for you with the moon. Ooh-wee. Yeah. You're going to start seeing everything that was being covered up from you, right? Once you start working on yourself, once you start working on your bank account, once you start working on things that you find to be important here, right? I feel like it's almost like you're taking the attention off the things that had been hidden from you at, you know, all of this time here, right? And so once you start focusing on something else, it's almost like everything that was being kept from you is like gonna start coming out for you here, right? And that's gonna be a benefit for you. And then we have the 9 of Wands, yeah. If you're feeling like you're frustrated, like there's no forward movement here, right? I feel like you're keeping this very much hidden, right? It's time for you to start going into a place where you can really work on yourself, where you can rest, where you can retreat here, right? It's time for you really to start manifesting, to start bringing in new ideas for yourself here, right? I feel like there's a situation here where you have been really broken. You've really been beat down here, right? And you know that that's not a space that you're wanting to go back to. So I feel like now's the time really to put good use to the extra free time you have, right? And start manifesting what it is that you're wanting here for yourself, right? And we have 4 cups with the 7 of swords. We have 2 fours here. We have 4, 4. We have 4 swords and 4 cups, right? The only way for you to really get through this sadness here, once again, is to rest, retreat, recharge as well, right? Yeah, there's some things, yeah, there's going to be some sadness here that is pulling in for you from the sneaky and shadiness of like whatever you had to do to get out of the situation or whatever somebody else had to do here as well, right? But don't worry, even though there's going to be some sadness, it's still going to be healing for you here as well. Keep that in mind. So it's almost like the pain's having to like come forth so you can have the healing here as well, right? And once you have some understanding as to this sneakiness and shadiness could have been here with the Queen of Swords here as well, right? Libra, Aquarius, or I wanted to say Pisces or Gemini here as well, right? Yeah, I feel like you're taking a long look at what it is people have been doing all of this time. It's almost like you're having some realization. You're looking backwards at all of the things that have happened up to this point. Like you're having some realizations here as to like what people were really doing, right? Like you're finally seeing, it's like, oh, that's why they went to the grocery store at that time. That's why they said they had to go pick up their, you know, kid at, you know, like you're having some realizations as to like what the lies have been, like the truth's really coming out for you. And I feel like that's helping you walk away here for yourself. Yeah, like these are like intuitive pulls. You're having to separate yourself here and really work through the sadness so you can have some true understanding as to what's really been going on for yourself. And that's bringing in closure. That's bringing in some understanding here. I don't feel like this is something you're necessarily going to get from another person, right? They can explain to you all day long why they did what they did here, right? But that's not going to make you feel better. That's not going to give you closure here, right? And I feel like that's almost why you have this Hangman card come in for you, right? So you can have this perspective shift so you can truly transmute the energy so it doesn't bother you here anymore, right? You're being intuitively pulled to get away from this energy for yourself, for happiness for yourself, right? I feel like if anything, this was a relationship that could have been taking from you. It could have been depleting here for you here as well. You had been getting signs. You've been getting synchronicities. You've been getting messages from spirit that, hey, like it's time to move on here, right? It's almost like while this person was around you, you were withering away, and that's not cool. That's not fun, you know? And so the second that you walk out of their life here, right? This is what you turn into. The Empress, you know, like, and when they were in your life here, right? I feel like they were very controlling, very manipulative here, right? They really kept your hands tied, right? They brought in more anxiety and frustration than anything positive here, right? And it was taking from you. It was knocking you off, you know, your square. It was taking you off your throne here, right? And once you have some realizations as to like what this person was truly doing here for you, right? It's time to let it go, right? And as you're doing that, you're healing yourself. As you're doing that, you're healing yourself. You're really working through your own issues that you could have even had before this person came into your life. This is some deep healing that's coming in for you. Deep transformations here, right? You're going to notice a difference in your outside appearance as well, right? As well as the inside, right? And it's helping you. It's pushing you forward. It's pushing you forward here, right? Whatever it is you've been having anxiety about, whatever it feels like you've been stuck in a situation here, very fearful, very uncomfortable here, like you're having to learn lessons here as well, right? All of that's being taken care of and healed for you here as well, right? We have Ace of Wands and the Six of Cups, yeah. Once again, I feel like there could have been a lot of fear about moving forward in a love relationship as well. No, I feel like there's going to be a larger commitment coming in for you here as well, right? Something that I don't think that, once again, I feel like it's something that you've manifested here as well. I feel like you had a lot of trust in the universe here as well, right? And I feel like that's really helping you move forward, right? Yeah. We have 2 3s. We have 3 of Swords and then the 3 of Wands, right? Yeah. There's going to be a loving, caring relationship that's pulling in for you. I feel like it's going to be so different than what anybody else has ever been, right? Especially here with this home. Like, I feel like this is a person that's wanting marriage, that's wanting to put you in a home here, that's wanting to make moves in your life different than what anybody has ever done for you here. Like, look at what he's done for her, right? They're wanting to come in and truly change your life, have forward movement, help heal you from any of these toxic patternings that you've been dealing with, that you've been putting up with in your life, right? This is a person that's really wanting to come in and change and shift you out of this energy, right? Yeah, they're helping heal any of this brokenheartedness that you've been going through here. It's almost like their love is coming in and helping heal this, right? They're helping build you, especially with this 33 energy. They're helping build you. They're helping transform you here into a much different person. And I feel like it's bringing a lot of trust, a lot of forgiveness. Once again, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of forgiveness. I feel like this is going to be a relationship here that you've always wanted, but that you've never experienced here as well, right? Yeah. 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 Okay, so normally how I see this 8 of Swords, right? It's like not moving forward, not anything like that. How I'm seeing this now, right? I feel like this is almost somebody that's wanting to like come in and like tie you down. You know, like, you know how like they say like get married and stuff like that. That's almost how I'm seeing this. And I say that because it's the 3 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. I feel like this is somebody that's really wanting to like tie you down, like marry you, like make you, you know, like their person here, right? Somebody that's really wanting to keep you in one place here, right? Like somebody that's really wanting to stabilize you, support you here as well, right? Yeah. All right, guys, let's get one card out for how you can help heal this energy. I hope y'all are having an awesome day. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you for subscribing here as well, right? Do the work. This is for your question here, right? Do the work. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush garden, right? Now, that's involving love. That's involving work, anything like that here, right? You can dream and pray about it all day long, but until you like actually show up and do what it takes necessary to have these things come about here, right? They're not going to get done, right? So yes, you have to manifest it, right? Like in order for these things things to even come about. Like, you have to sit down and do the work, manifest them here into your reality. And then as you have these intuitive hits, intuitive pulls here to go out and show up at the grocery store at 4 p.m. Go and do these things, right? Like, you're being pulled and called to certain places and deal with certain people here, right, that are going to be for your benefit later, right? All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.